Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks, and we are here today with set number 2585, Track Buggy with Stationmaster and Cool Kid. Kind of a long name to just give a little bit of personification of each of our minifigures, I guess. This was a LEGO Loco, release with the LEGO Loco video game. That's why I have it shown on the screen. When you purchased it at first, when you bought the PC game, you got this as a free exclusive set in its own box, inside of the larger box with the LEGO Loco game. Unfortunately, I don't have the box, of course, but just wanted to let you know that it's not a poly bag. This was a boxed set inside of a video game. 32 pieces, 2 minifigures, ages 6 to 10, and this was from 1998, the release of the game as well as the release of the set. And the set itself doesn't really cost anything. It just had the same tag as the LEGO Loco game. So, kind of makes it, more worthwhile. I don't remember the exact cost of the LEGO Loco game. I'll provide it in the description with a note to say that it's not for the set, it's for the game. And, the set's kind of a free part of it. Let's take a closer look at the set now. So here we have a look at our instruction manual. I know it's very beat up and I've had it taped over many times over many years just to get it in the condition to be read properly. It's had a lot of rips and definitely, hard to keep in good condition. But there's a look at what the box looks like. This is how the front of the box was looking for the set. What you might notice on here, how the minifigures are assembled, they're not exactly the same way as we see it in the set. I don't recall if we actually had this particular headpiece with the set, but I'll still show what it looks like that way. It's a very simple assembly. It only took me a few minutes, not too long before the video, just to put it together. It took me more time to actually find the right pieces, contrary to what I first believed, but it's still a nice set to put together, very simple. You could probably make this from your own collection nowadays, except for the minifigures. And there is a back look of, our Stationmaster with his superhero outfit, and that's also how the back of the box looked at the time. It doesn't actually come with any tracks, but we'll still test it later on to see what the tracks look like. First minifigure of this set is Cool Kid. Now, surprisingly, this figure does not actually appear in LEGO Loco, and you would think that the set would be somewhat in line with the game, but I have not seen this character in LEGO Loco in the exact form. So, and I've seen the face in there, but it's not the same person. So, it's a really interesting minifigure. It's probably one of my favorite minifigures of all time, actually. It's just so, it's got nice colors to it, the red, white, blue, just, a good balance between them so it's not too flashy, it's not too dark, I also like the torso printing, it's very nice. I always appreciate that torso, which has the red 2x4 brick on it. And it's also got a nice face on him, if you take a closer look at it. It's kind of a boyish face that looks really cool, And we've had that face even before this set. In some of the sets, such as Time Cruisers, that theme had this face on it, and we've had a little bit after this. I have a few of these in my collection, but they're still really nice. I like this figure a lot. The second minifigure is the Super Stationmaster. Now, the regular Stationmaster we'll get into after the Super. The Super is basically, the only difference between him and the Stationmaster is the cape, which you notice is actually a plastic piece. Back in the day, they didn't have fabrics that made capes, and this is actually one of the only sets that I have where they had the plastic before going to fabric. That's very interesting, and I actually have 2 of them because there was an additional 1 cape and 1 hat included with this set, so technically you can make the other person in this set a superhero too if you really wanted to have fun with it. He's also got a unique face on him. I don't recall this minifigure ever being in any other sets, although similar ones have been made for LEGO Train sets. The exact figure has not appeared in any other set, just like the first one that we had, Cool Kid. So he's got a nice looking face on there. It's kind of a slight modification from the mustachioed face that we've seen in sets before this time, and a little bit after this time. The only difference is really that he has a mask on. So let's take a look at him as a regular Stationmaster, as shown in the instructions. So there's our look at the regular Stationmaster. Really, almost no difference, like I mentioned before. I don't remember exactly if if both faces were included. I feel like they were, because I've heard some people mention on their reviews, like Brickstar said, he doesn't remember if there was the original face here. But I think there was. I remember them having an alternate face. So, it also seems a little bit odd to today's standards that he's all in yellow. But just like the yellow astronauts of LEGO Space, this outfit is really not to be made as them nude. It's supposed to be a yellow outfit with kind of similar, to their yellow skin. So here we have the train buggy itself. And honestly, I would just call this a pushcart. I think the name for the set is actually kind of odd. Although it does give us the idea of who the characters are. The first part of the name doesn't really do it for me. It is symmetrical. It works on tracks. We'll test it out on the tracks in just a bit. And it has two handles that each of the minifigures can be pushing along. Kind of like in the opening intro for LEGO Loco. But again, I'd like to let you guys know, this set entirely does not appear in LEGO Loco. None of the minifigures appear. We do not have pushcarts in the game, except for the intro, which, that kind of disappoints me. Although it is a nice model, it's something that's pretty simple to build, which is good, for younger kids, but also there's little to do with it. I mean, you may enjoy LEGO Loco the game, where you can design all different kinds of tracks and cities. But if you don't have any LEGO trains, this model is almost useless to you. And it used to be for a while for me. Except for you can actually push this back and forth. It rests on some moving pieces, so you can see the minifigures articulate themselves with the handlebars as they push back and forth. So it's got a nice motion with it. If you want to use it for animation, it'd be a pretty easy way for it to happen. If you push too hard, though, you might have them fall out of place. Now, for a long time, for me personally, this set almost had no use because I did not have any LEGO trains. But with thanks to recent findings, I've been able to acquire some train tracks. You guys know I've had these switch tracks for a while. So now we can test out how these roll along on the tracks. It's a little bit messy there. I'm not sure if that was a good place to start. So, alright, that looks pretty good. Rolls along very nicely. It's at the right width of the tracks. Basically, the track width of LEGO trains has really changed for many years when they've had the 9-volt battery trains and when they've had these RC trains. It's a little bit tricky here just because of that. Trying to line it up. There we go. I kept thinking it was going forward. I forgot to switch it. Now we can send it along this way. So it works great on train tracks. I'm actually happy for that and glad to use these once again. I don't have many LEGO trains, but I guess this is an okay looking set. It's not necessarily one that you need except for the minifigures. The rest of it you can build from your own parts, and you probably build in better pieces. Because sometimes, this can have a tendency of, getting in the way of things, or, it might be hard to push either way for making the minifigures move without them popping off, as we showed earlier. So it would be okay if you tried to make it in your own way. I have another pushcart that was from LEGO City, and I think around 2007 or 2008 Advent Calendar. It works a little bit better than this one. Maybe I'll do a comparison of it at some later time. But overall, this little set is nice to include with the LEGO Loco video game. I was happy to play with it, and I'm happy to have the figures. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time with more LEGO set reviews.